Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to continue with our business series, and you might notice that I sound a little sick. That's because I am, but that won't stop me. I'm going to keep on pushing. I'm going to keep on making content for you guys, creating value, and that's why today, speaking of value, we're going to talk about a finance tracker that we can build. This will be part of the business series, as I said, as a part of the business template that I'm creating. Today I don't only want to show you a template, I want to show you my process of building a system in Notion. And so, yeah, let's just get right into it. So this is what a finance tracker might look like. This is good. I mean, you have some basic information. You have your income and expenses. That's the most important part. But we can do this better, right? We can do this a lot better. So we will actually just create a new page. Call this the new finance tracker. So the most important part, we need to start with a table view. We'll just create a new database. We'll start from scratch. Let's call this the budget. The first thing we want to do is rename the tags to category. So we can categorize our expenses and then add the income. This is a number. The number will be income. Yeah, I should have taken a big fat plus. And then a new number property, expenses. And we'll put a minus here. There we go. For category as well, we can maybe take like a house or something. For name, we'll just take the money icon. This way we can personalize the database. It looks a lot cleaner. And actually we'll also hide the title because I like the way that looks. Okay, now we have a basic setup. Now, another thing I want to add, what we didn't have in the first one, we'll take a formula. So what we have to add here is a to-number function around the entire expression. Just fix the brackets. This way the result will be a number. And now, so what this formula says is display as number the result of expenses plus income. If this equals 0, then display nothing. And if it does not equal 0, then display the expenses plus income. This way, we will see income plus expenses right here. And then in the formula, we want to edit the property, number format, and pick euros once again. When we have an expense, we say minus 20. For example, this will then use the formula and insert these numbers, which also means, for example, now just to test this, like this basic function, we could say income. This is category income, or let's call it salary. That way it's more clear that it's there. And then we'll say salary is 1,000 euros, and we see in the formula it's 1,000 euros. And then we have a restaurant that we go to, and we call this free time. We have an expense of 50 euros, and now it's important to say minus 50, because this way it'll calculate minus 50. And then the nice thing about this is that we can calculate the sum of all these values, and we see basically our bank account. After we combine all of our income, subtract the expenses, this is the sum that we're left over with. Now we can go ahead and maybe add let's call this this month. We will add a date as well. And then we can say this one, for example, is the 12th of January. This one is the 1st of January. And then in this month, we will change the icon to be a calendar. There we go. Now here, once again, we can hide the database title, and then maybe change the colors of these to be more fitting. Maybe we can take like a green and blue. And then we might want to add an icon, and then we want to add a cover. And then what I like to do is go to Pinterest to look for a cover for this. So it could really be anything, but for example, I mean, it's finance, so maybe finance, aesthetic, something like this. Let's see what we get. And then for the icon, we can go to flat icon and search for finance, for example. We can use that as the finance tracker, or maybe we might just want to replace that with this PNG free download. And now let's see what that would look like. Upload this budget. There we go. Okay, I like that. And then the picture is still low res, which means I might just go for like a skyline on Unsplash. Let's see if we can get like a skyline. Yeah, maybe something like this, a cloudy, dark type of vibe, and then we'll change the cover once again, upload. So I might just want to go for this. See what that looks like. Okay, I'm liking the look of this. So now that we have a nice background so that we can see the icon properly, we have the finance tracker. I like this. This is good. And then we will just, once again, maybe go for a mono font on this one. We could try something new. I don't usually use that one. Small text, not necessarily. We'll go full width. I think that's the move. And otherwise, I think the settings are fine, right? The next thing we want to do is finish up setting views. So we will delete this view, duplicate this month, call it last month. And now we want to set these up. So here we want to take the filter by payment date, and then have, this is last month, so have this be past 1 month. Save for everyone. This month, have that filter be payment date this month. Save for everyone. There we go. This looks good. So here we have a lot of information, and maybe have this just be like the home view and a house. And this will, I guess, just have everything, you know. We might want to just make it a little more simple. So maybe just have the formula. And we'll rename the formula to amount. And then the formula, so now that we have the formula, we can, yes, change the icon to, let's see if we have some money. Yeah, we'll take currency. There we go. We'll add that to here. And then from this view, we can hide income and expenses. Now we have the sum of the amount as well. So we have salary and we have a restaurant. Category can go here. Payment date can be there. And that's basically it. I think this is a good home view. This keeps it all nice and basic. And then this month you can see some more information. You see if it's an income or an expense. You see that in the amount. Now we can take maybe, we can, for example, take the average of the incomes to see how big that is. We count values. There we go, to see how many expenses we have. And then for the amount, once again, we'll take the sum. And also in last month, we will take the sum. Of course, these are all values that you can change. You can also, for example, change everything. You can look at the different amount of categories. You can see the ratio of incomes to expenses if you want to. You can do a lot of things with these calculate buttons down here. And speaking of buttons, I think it's about time we add a button to create a new expense. So we want to add a page to our database budget. Name, add payment here. Edit another property. We will make the payment date should be today. We'll just add another step because we're going to want to open the page that we created. Open that in Centerpeak so that we can fill out the data. And then we'll just add a nice little, I think we'll go gray for this one. And we'll add maybe we'll just add this cash machine sign right there and then call this new payment. There we go. And we'll drag this up here to have that new payment button up there. And yeah, I think that's it. Then we can just think about if there's something else we would want to add. Of course, one thing we might want to add is to go to the time tracking template and connect these two. So we would do that by adding a relation to track the time. So we go back to our finance tracker, finance tracker 2.0, 2.0, and then add a relation to our to track the time. So we have 3 of these, but I believe it is this one. Show that there, call that budget, add the relation. And now we can get a roll up, and in the roll up we'll take the to track the time relation, and then we're going to want to look for the payment and then show the original. So then we can, for example, add these time slots here, and it'll show us a value, and then we're actually going to want to show the sum of the values. And then this roll up can be added to the amount. We'll add a new view, call it wages. And then depending on if you're earning this money or if you have employees or freelancers that you're hiring, you're going to want to make this an expense, this roll-up value right here, an expense, or an income. So the way we do this now, we'll call this roll-up wage. And then we're just going to want to say in the amount also, edit the formula and say if expenses plus income plus wage is 0, then display nothing. And now we can say wage for freelancer, and this way, or let's say for freelancing, so we're making money, and then we'll just say planted and this, delete these, and now you see the wage is $12.50 for these time slots in our time tracking. And let's go ahead and just create a button actually to automate this bringing over of the time tracking's time slots into our wages in the finance tracker. So in the time tracking template, you're going to want to go into the start working button, add another step, add a page to budget, name this freelancing payment, for example, edit another property to track the time, then new pages, edit another property, payment date, make that today. That means that when we go into the time tracking and we start working, and then we will stop working at that end time, just for demonstration purposes, make that 1 hour, payment €25, that's good. And then that should mean that when we go to our finance tracker, we see in the overview, in the 2.0, we see the freelancing payment of €25 on today's date, and the new time slot has been added to our relation. So that's great. That is set up and that works. So that's one way that you can connect different databases that you have. And furthermore, both of these pages will be part of the business template that will be released shortly. These are just some basic ideas. Of course, you can expand this, have this do a lot more. You can add integrations and automations. If I find some interesting ideas, then I will improve upon that. And this is just the basic setup, which means the actual template, when it comes out, will have much more features in the finance tracker. But of course, I don't want to spoil everything. But yeah, I'll keep you updated on the progress. This video came out a little late this week, but next week we should be back on track with the Wednesday's scheduled update. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Next week I'll try to get the camera back on so that you can see me again. And yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this. I really hope you've learned something new. We dabbled a little in coding and formulas. We dabbled a little in relations. So there was a lot of content here, and I hope really that this can provide you some value. And I'll also upload this finance tracker to my website so that you can download it from there. And yeah, that's all for now. I hope you have a nice week, and I'll see you next Wednesday.